matching hundreds. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll run it here. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 22 carries, 107 yards, and the touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
The numbers for Mixon last week. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just one-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped off a few long jaunts as well.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. A few issues here on the offensive line, apparently. He got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, here's Newton. And it's incomplete.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down. Take the completion, keep moving.
Here's Newton. Over the middle, complete. That's Murray. And they work this out past the 25. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And we can say hello to the new NFL rushing king as he has just passed Emmitt Smith's mark of over 18,000 yards. What a privilege to witness this here.
Oh, Brandon, this is terrific. We're here. We get to see it live. We get to call it and see a new king emerge. A fantastic day, a tip of the cap, and congratulations.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. On 1st and 10, Finley. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He topped the 200-yard mark a week ago. You know they're going to have a lot of eyes, and hopefully for them, bodies on him here in this one.
You got to expect defensively, forget 8 men in the box. 9, 10,
11?
Hey, listen, they're trying to sneak you and me in there to try and slow him down, but I bet his offensive line mates are going to accept that challenge. They really like blocking for a guy who can turn up that kind of yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 44. From the gun, here's Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So 1 quarter in the books here on a Thanksgiving night. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. From the 50, Newton. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Murray. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To the air again, Newton. Escapes the defender. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Newton now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They go play action here on first down. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Third and long, it's Newton. Finding his safety valve here, that's complete. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Finley. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes the score 14-7. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Murray. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
He's got a man complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. To throw is Newton. Going up top. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Newton on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. Ross on the return. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff
and he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. It was Eric Reed in on the stop. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And then you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to guess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Uses the stiff arm. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now it's Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now Newton. Throwing right, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Panthers on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. The shotgun snap for Newton. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now. And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, and he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many.
This is caught inside the 15. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Boyd with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do. No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback. But as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now a play fake here on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. In for the score. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Newton now to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now here's Ross. He spins free. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 63 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And partner Emmitt Smith now moves to number 2. His record of 165 career rushing touchdowns has been broken. What else can you say but wow?
I have no other words but wow, because Emmitt Smith set the standard, a guy that always found his way into the end zone. That record has now been eclipsed. The only thing our new record holder has to worry about, will Emmitt come back and try and get his record back?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And they'll run it here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Over the middle, complete. It's Murray. And he'll go down at the 28. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Murray. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Newton. And his throw here's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to throw, Newton. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking...
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs.
I was going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big. They had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt him too much. And he's got some space here. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for the Bengals. 61 yards that time on the ground. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again. Finley. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Finley. Flushed out right. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Leopard! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll give it to Mixon. And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Operating from the gun, Newton. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or playing the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. 23 yards on the play.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Going right side here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st down, Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
On third down, that's Barber. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney!
On fourth down, Finley going deep downfield for Ross. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
Taken in at the 22. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's what...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. And they occupy people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And the Bengals on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16.
Over!
From the gun, Finley. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put...
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all your points, as a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.